for being with us. As promised, we always try to bring you information that will help families, parents, grandparents, and children. And the El Paso Public Libraries are a great friend of this community, let me tell you. Jack Galindo is here. He's the marketing and promotions person, I guess, to call about all of the things that are happening in the summer. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me on again. It's been a while. It's been maybe a couple of years, right, since we've been on.
That's right. Don't forget us, because we're the voice. We're the megaphone.
It's always a lot of fun to come on your show.
Yeah,
So I enjoy it.
Thank you. Okay, so what do we talk about today as far as clubs, activities, events with the El Paso Public Libraries?
Well, let's start with our summer reading club, because that's coming up very soon. We're starting June the 10th. Official registration starts on Saturday, June 10th. And what Summer Reading Club is we ask all people, because we have clubs for every age now, from very, very young to people that are older. And we ask them to read 8 hours or 8 books, depending on their reading level, depending on what they like to read. And all you have to do is go to any of our library branches and sign up for the club. And you'll be able to keep track of your reading logs, and then at the end, once you've completed your goals, you get a free prize or a present and something really nice that you can keep with you. But this is also if you have grandkids, or if you have kids that you want to keep them academically engaged during the summer, which is very important, then this is a great club for them to be involved with. It's totally free. Yes. All you have to do is come and register. And we also have hundreds of free informational and fun and educational programs that the whole family can take part in.
Wow.
From magic shows to music shows to karaoke to guys that make balloon animals, entertainers. And this happens all summer at all of our branches.
Yeah, and that's really important, because it doesn't matter what part of town you live in. How many branches do you have?
We have a total of 12 physical branches. We also have a partnership library with EPCC, and we have a partnership library with the El Paso Museum of Art. We also have a couple of mobile units that go throughout the city. So we're operating every day, and we're bringing library service to the community. And we have so many free resources that it's hard to talk about them all at one time.
What stands out here for me is the family time movies, also for the whole family, and classes. What kinds of classes do you have?
Well, we have free classes for citizenship classes. We have those every Tuesday night at most locations from 5 o'clock to 7. If you know anyone who is looking to become a citizen, and I know a lot of people are looking at that right now, then we have free classes at all of our branches every Tuesday evening.
And I get calls. I get a lot of calls. I was also considering offering a class. But hey, listen, we'll fill yours out.
Yeah, absolutely. We have free citizenship.
Okay.
People can call our main number, which is 212-READ, and we'll be glad to give them information on all those classes. We also have free GED classes for anyone who hasn't received their GED, their diploma yet. They can get their GED through the libraries, and we graduate a lot of GED students. We also offer GED testing at all of our facilities.
Wow.
Now, you still, you go through a third party and you pay the fee, but you can actually test at the libraries, which we haven't offered in the past. It's a new service.
How about hobby classes?
We do have hobby classes. We have grupos de tejedores, and we have knitting classes at all of our branches. But those are more social than anything else,
yes.
How it is.
And that's important in the life of anybody. You've got to include some social, instead of just working on your
It's
phone.
not social media, it's actually social.
Yeah, talking and
right.
laughing and knitting. And
you're not texting anybody. You can actually sit in front of them and have a chat.
And that's kind
have
of,
a conversation. So we do that at all of our branches, and we have those types of what we call craft activities, and that's part of our programming as well.
One of the interesting things also, adult coloring, that's becoming very popular.
Adults love to color too, and we have coloring books that are, it's a trend that's going around countrywide, but we do it here as well.
Okay.
And we have adult coloring classes at some of our branches where you as an adult can come in and you can color your coloring books and your coloring pages.
Zumba, story time, Gosh,
We have
such a
yoga
variety.
at some of our at some of
Yeah.
our branches as
You
well.
know, our Zumba classes, our yoga classes, our French and Italian classes, they get full so fast. Now I have a place to send them. Say,
We
"Hey,
do
you
have
didn't get into our class, but you can go." Yes,
we
go
have
ahead.
conversational French as well. Yeah,
Yes.
language classes, ESL.
Yes,
We
yes.
have even for people who want to learn Spanish, we have Spanish conversation at some of our branches. But also, you know, something that we just initiated in the last year or so is a career online high school program. This is for adults that have, for whatever reason, were not able to complete their high school diploma. It's not a GED course. It's an actual high school curriculum that you can go through the library. It's totally free. You can do your coursework, and if you have any credits from previous high school, they may be able to transfer into the program.
Yes.
And right now we're about to graduate our first 4 graduates
Oh, that's
from that program. And we
wonderful.
have many people that are already enrolled in the program that are
And
going to
who
be
issues
graduating.
the diploma? The El Paso Independent School District, or what
It
district?
is it is a national,
national.
accredited high school or educational institution. I can't remember the name of
Okay.
it, but it is accredited by the U.S. Department of Education.
And this is where the computers come in, because they probably do it online, or
A lot of people still are afraid to use a computer, or they think they're going to blow it up if they touch it wrong. But we have computer classes at every Wednesday and every Thursday at our library, so we're able to do computer classes as well.
Yeah, and then we have computer classes. So they're so important for our community to be able to access these.
Yes,
These
there's a great need in the community.
What about something for teenagers? Do you have anything? Sometimes we need to keep our teenagers busy and
Absolutely, especially during the summer. You know, summer is a time when kids are not academically engaged. You know, they're out of school. So studies show that they tend to regress a little bit in their learning. And for lower income students, it tends to be cumulative, meaning every year they fall behind a little further. So it's important to keep them engaged in learning activities through the summer. So we have a summer reading club just for teens that happens on a regular basis every week at the libraries, and it teaches them a lot of science-related programs, a lot of science-related activities that they can take part in. We call it STEAM: science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And we have a great place at the main library called the Makerspace. And it's open every Saturday at 2 p.m. And kids can go in there and use, we have video editing software. We also have a recording studio that they can use.
wow.
We can learn about robotics. We have 3D printers that they can actually learn to use 3D printing.
Like a lab.
Yeah, so we have a great learning space just for teens, but we have a lot of learning activities throughout the system all summer long. And to learn more about that, people can visit our website at
Yes, that's what I was gonna ask you.
www.elpasolibrary.org. We have all of our programs listed there, or they can go to our library branches and pick up a calendar of events.
And a phone number, absolutely.
212-READ, 212-READ.
Very good.
And they can get any information that they want from that.
Super. Well, thank you for being with us. We've just about run out of time. And Jack, it's always a pleasure to see you. You have such great programs with the El Paso Public Library, and we want them to be full.
Yes, I hope so. Thank you very much for
Thank
having me
you.
once again.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all in a little bit. We've invited Zulema Lazarin to talk a little bit about what used to be called accessibility design, and now it's being called visitability design. Am I correct with that?
Yes,
Emma?
yes.
Tell me about what is the visitability design. Is that a law? Is that an idea? Is that a need? Because America's aging.
Yes, I would call it more of a need for our aging population, and even for persons that are not aging yet that are in wheelchairs.
Okay.
The builders, developers can receive state funds for visitability design. I used to know it as universal design, but it's called Visit, like VISIT, because I was thinking it was something else, visitability design. And they receive state funds. If with those state funds, they are to build a home and build it to be accessible for a person in a wheelchair, for a person that becomes elderly and needs to get around in a wheelchair. And so the following things are this: that they have to change in a home to make it a visitability design.
Livable.
Yes.
Livable and accessible.
Exactly.
And so what is the percentage of right now that the builders are supposed to be designing using these monies to build these kinds of special homes?
Well, there are two different things right now. Like the percentage of the apartments that they're supposed to build used to be 5% here in El Paso, and now it's been brought all the way down to 2%. But currently, from what I understand, is it's a negotiation right now. In fact, I think Emma Acosta is negotiating to bring it back up to 3%. So that El Paso can provide a higher percentage of accessible apartments.
Yeah. And there's a need. I understand there's many thousands of people that want to live independently, but can't find an apartment.
Yes. Well, there are, I would say, there's regarding persons with developmental disabilities, adults, aging people with developmental disabilities, there's about 525,000. And most of those are over 60, and about 25% of them, no, let's see, of those, 25% of their caregivers are also over the age of 60, which is causing a big dilemma because they're not reporting that they need the assistance or the modifications in the home or the expansion of services to allow or help the adult, the aging person with developmental disabilities to stay at home.
Yeah, live in the community.
There's long waiting lists to change that, and it's not happening fast enough.
Now, we need to make people aware of what's going on and how they can advocate. What are some of the features that you've heard about on this visitability design that will be included?
Okay, let me explain what those are. The first one is, number one, that there be an accessible entrance, at least one accessible entrance. And I guess they're saying that because in some cases,
for persons with
the
wheelchairs,
hallway is very narrow and a person with a wheelchair cannot get in or out.
The doorways are narrow.
Right. And the same thing
Standard.
happened to me when I took care of my dad who had Alzheimer's. When he couldn't walk, I couldn't fit him through certain doors. Okay, so number two is that the hallways, the doorways, be at least between 32 to 36 inches wide. That will accommodate a wheelchair. Okay, and then number three are that the light switches are at least at the level where a person in a wheelchair can reach it, not way up there.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
That's the light switches. And the other one is that the electrical outlets at the bottom are at least 18 inches higher from the floor, so that they won't have to go down real low
to plug in
and maybe even fall off to
chair.
be able to reach this electrical outlet.
Yeah.
And then I'm not even sure what
And
number I'm
you know,
on.
I think also they're thinking about entrances, garages, and things like that to make it level.
Yes,
You know.
yes. You have to look at your home and you have to decide what is the most cost-effective way to make your home, to modify your home to be able to provide that accessible entrance into your home.
Yeah. Even approaching the sink.
Yeah.
Because we have cabinets under there. A person
Yes.
with
a
a
wheelchair
can't.
they can't reach the faucet from there. And the last one is that the bathroom walls be reinforced so that if you need to put a grab bar, because when you get older, like my mom right now, we're taking care of her now because my dad's no longer here. she has to grab that grab bar so that she won't fall when she starts feeling like she's going to lose her balance.
Yeah.
So
And
that's the other thing.
The showers also, which
Yes.
we're all considering
the
is
accessible rolling showers. In
Yes.
fact, that's part of the accessible apartments. Going back to the 5%, half of those accessible apartments have to provide rolling showers.
Yeah.
So that if you have a wheelchair, you can just roll yourself in and out.
And I've noticed when I travel, hotels have.
Yes.
Do you need an accessible persons in wheelchairs? Do you need an accessible room?
Yes.
A suite or something like
Yes,
that. which-
everybody should have at least, if not 5%, at least 2%.
And I think what we want to do with this conversation is just become aware of that America's aging, that the baby boomers are coming of age. They're moving from two-story homes into single-story homes, one level. Accessibility, visitability,
Yes.
or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
It means staying in the community longer.
Yes, I would have been able to keep my father, who had Alzheimer's, I would have been able to keep him with me longer at home had I, been able to modify my home and not have to put him on a long waiting list. And
Yeah. What I'd like to see is also a tax break, that if you're going to modify your home to make it more visitability or more accessible, that you get a tax break on these expenses like they did with the yards.
Yes, well,
with
if
the
the
landscaping.
exactly. Well, if the state can provide the funding to the builders and the developers to make these homes visitability, to
Accessible.
convert them to visitability design for people that need wheelchair access and so forth, if they can do that with the developers, why not provide it to the people that own the homes?
Yes. Very
So
good.
they can modify their own homes.
Very good. Which is something I'm going to do.
Yes, me too.
Thank you so
Me too.
much. I got to get ready. It's got to be
Yes.
prepared.
Amen.
Thank you so much for being with us
Thank you, Mary.
and having this conversation. I really appreciate your visit and keeping us thinking.
Yes.
Okay?
Got to be prepared for the future.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for staying with us here on Mature Living. I have a very important topic to talk about today. LULAC District 4 of El Paso is beginning the planning and coordinating a student-parent conference. You know, El Paso is a great place to raise children, but we always have room for improvement. We want to make sure that our kids grow up to be productive citizens, that they're contributing, that they volunteer, that they realize that there's many dangers out there that they don't know about. And so we want to promote this conference to you. And so I've invited a couple of community partners that are going to be involved in the planning of this conference. Possibly will take place in the fall of 2017. Thank you for being with us. This is Catalina Estala and of course Rebecca Hernandez. This morning I mentioned to you this conference and your eyes lit up and you said, yes, we will be there to help. Tell me why it's important to you.
As a parent, I think it is very important that we inform our parents that are young parents that have young children, children that are just starting, parents that don't know what to do, how to guide them and everything. I think this will be a fantastic way of getting all of our parents, some information that they need.
Yes, and we're going to have many partners. Volar is one of them for parents that have in their families children with disabilities. But there's so many professionals, such as your daughter, a doctor, medical doctor, role models. Talk about scholarships. Talk about the opioids problem. Tell me why you think it's important to get involved.
Absolutely. I kind of experienced that when my daughter was going to college, the opioids. A lot of the students were taking the opioids to stay up, to be able to maintain, because their lives are so busy and they have to study and they weren't being able to stay up. And so they would take the opioids, and some of friends suffered the consequences. So it is a problem. We also have it in the military. So we see that with our veterans. And so there is a problem, and hopefully we can bring it to light in this conference.
Yes. So if there's anyone out there that has a topic that they have expertise on that would help either parents or young teenagers, high school age, college age, even middle school, we have to start very early, that would like to present, they can call us. And I'm going to give that phone number in a minute. If there's some parents there that want to participate and want to register, this is going to be a free conference. We're going to get sponsors. We're going to get the ISDs, the superintendents, to jump in and send representatives and make sure the kids get bused to this conference that we're going to have in the fall. And so it's so important, so important that you get involved, right? We can sit in the bleachers or we can get on the field and play.
Exactly.
And that's what we're asking for, a message that you'd like to send.
I would just like to tell all the parents that, you know, our children are not, any child is not, you don't get a child without a book to say or guidance of how you raise them. But when you have a child with a disability, it becomes double work.
Yes.
And if you can find somebody to help you, guide you, even talk to them on what you are going through with a child with a disability, hey, come on board. Come join us.
Yes, and even some of these kids that are, very knowledgeable of technology, they get in trouble with uploading pictures, and it creates problems. And there's cyberbullying. There's so many topics we can talk. There's gangs. The peer pressure. We can talk about so many things that will help the kids to open their eyes, what not to do.
Absolutely.
And so I'm sure that you will be there as planners and recruiting speakers and registering people, I'm sure.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us. I really appreciate it. Let's give a phone number. We can give the college number. We can give a cell number. So they can call Mary Yañez at 831-7801 if they want more information. Give us a call. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Arturo J. Ortiz Sr. retired from the U.S. Postal Service after 29 years, and after retiring, he's been taking classes at EPCC, including creative writing, which have helped him to gain knowledge, meet people, stay busy, but more importantly, help to keep the dust off his brain.
Cat in the box. When we were kids, my cousin David and I decided to catch an alley cat. We made our decision and there was no turning back. As night approached, we had the 4 things we needed to trap the cat: a large wooden box, a stick about 12 inches in length, a long rope, and cat food. Cardboard's too light, so the box had to be a wooden box and open on one side only. We set up the trap in the alley, and in a few minutes, an alley cat calmly walked up to the trap, smelled the food, and started eating it. We pulled the rope attached to the stick, which was holding the box up from one end over the cat eating the food, and bam, we trapped the cat. David and I jumped over the backyard fence and ran to the box where we could hear the cat inside the box frantically trying to get out. I carefully lifted one end of the box to let the cat out, but it popped out so suddenly and quickly that it scared me, and I let go of the box, dropping it on the cat as it was getting out. The cat, now on its back and facing me, clawed and hissed at me. All I could see were teeth, claws, and its eyes filled with terror. The cat squeezed out of the box and ran off into the night. David and I stood there stunned. For years I had nightmares of that cat putting me in a box with all his friends, who proceeded to beat and scratch me up. But now, after many, many years of hypnosis, therapy, and counseling, I'm all right. I really, really am.
Suki Solis says that when she hit 55 years old, she retired from her position as a salesperson and decided to take creative writing classes at EPCC. She had already been taking painting classes since 1980. and is still taking both today and loves it.
I'm going to read one of my poems, and this is called Mother's Day. Good morning, Grandma, I said. Good morning, Suquita, she responded. Do you know that today is a big day? I exclaimed. Not really. Today is Wednesday. Why? She asked. Grandma, it is Mother's Day, your day. I got surprised for you, I added. Grandma held her head with both of her hands, and she had a surprised look as she listened to me. Grandma, you know, last year I was not aware of the holidays in through the year, but now that I turned 8 years old and our teacher in school told us about Mother's Day on the 10th of May, I loved it because I can buy something for you, my grandmother, the one who took care of me since I was 3 months old, the one who talks to me all day and takes me to church on Sunday, and the one who answers my silly questions. I know your daughter is my mom, and she lives in USA. I don't want to live anywhere else. I want to live here with you. I love you, Grandma. Happy Mother's Day. Your granddaughter, Socorro Solis.
Dave Davis is a man with many hats, including instructor of gardening class at EPCC and student in creative writing class, husband of 40 years, father, grandfather, and Vietnam veteran. Lately, he has discovered a hidden passion for writing and is now a published author.
Blind Melon Chitlin. Charlie, what you doing down there on the floor? Don't know, don't ask me no more. Charlie, your legs is all cut up. I know, ain't it just my dumb luck? Charlie, what's wrong? You mad at me? Nothing two eyes can't cure. I just wish I could see. Charlie, let me help you on up. Don't bother yourself, woman. Just gets me a sign and a tin cup. Charlie, stop that talk, you hear? Hearing's fine. That you don't needs to fear. Sweetie, you talk bringing tears to my eyes. Beatrice, no sense us both bother, he sighs. You need to be priced yet. All the things you gots. Charlie, you gots a lots. You got that fine horn over there? Gets up, sit down in this here chair. Beatrice, I hear what you say, but I still can't see. Touch my eyes, Charlie. These tears is for you, from me. Reaching up, he feels the tears streaming down her face. His fingers follow the tracks, and he knows now God's grace. Beatrice, help this old fool up off the ground. Maybe I play us some blues sound. Thank you, woman, for putting up with me. My eyes is blind, but your love I do see. I was 42 on the dark and fate-filled night. That was the day she came and took away my sight. From Chi-Town she came with the acid she threw, boiled away my eyes so's I can't look at you. That's why I sing these blues, these blind melon chitlin blues. When I was 43, I met my sweet honey bee. Living all around us, you don't need eyes to see. She picked me up, I swear I thought I might drown. There's more to life than I see, and so I can't be down. That's why I sing these blues, these blind melon chitlin blues.